Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video we are going to discuss about request module. In this request module we are going to see about the two subtopics. One is handling request and another one is handling responses. In this handling request I am going to explain with the program, and I explained about the HTTP request methods in my previous video. If you people did not see that video, I recommend you to see that video before seeing this video to understand in a better way. So please see the previous video to understand this video in a better way. So let's get started. So first let's see how we are going to use our request module. First you need to import your module by using import request statement, or if you so many people don't install this request module in your Python. If not installed, then you need to enter this command in your terminal: pip install request. If there is no request module installed in our Python, it will install for you. And if you are using pipenv for managing the Python modules, then you can use this command pipenv install request. Sorry, I am not using the pipenv command to install or to manage my Python modules. So it's prompted me it is an invalid command. So if you people did not install the request module, or you need to know whether the request module is installed on our Python, so type this command before going to handle with our request module to know whether the request module is installed on our system or not. So let's get started. For importing the request module, you need to use the import request, and here let us assume a variable x and request dot get of. Get is a method that I discussed in the previous video, and you need to enter the URL. So let me use google.com for this, www.google.com. so that is the website that I am taking, and here we are going to print the status code, x.status code. So this will print the status code, means 200. 200 means the status code 200 means it is okay, or 404 means it is forbidden. So like that, the error numbers will be printed by using the status code, by using dot status code method. So to know whether the website is working perfectly or not, you need to use this. So let me save this program and run this program via terminal. python2 request.py. Yes, it's written with 200. That means the source and host are up. So that is why we are written with the code 200. And if you want to print the content that is assigned to x, here you need to write with the x dot content. It will returns the web page source code. So let me open the Firefox and let me see the Google source code. This is the page source code of google.com. Let me see what we will get printed here. Sorry, I didn't save it. See, here we got the Google page source code. Where is the starting part? Here. Let me check in the Firefox. See, the both are same. Here also exclamation doc type HTML, like that, and here in our terminal also same. And here the content method will return the web page source code to the user. That is the usage of a content method. And here if you need to pass any parameters, then you need to specify with params equal to Facebook, and I am going to give a such string in the google.com by using the params, or if you want to give any parameters, I mean more than one parameter, then you can assign another variable like y equal to something like this. You can give the parameters like that, and you can assign the variable directly to the params, and then you will get the same result that I will get. Okay, here I assigned parameters as Facebook. Here this Facebook will be the search string for Google, and it will return the source code. I mean it will return the status code for us. Let me delete this line. Python 2 request.py. See here we got the result as 200, means that source is, I mean the host is up, everything is good, so it is written with 200. Let me print the content for it. X.content, save it. Python 2 request.py. See here we got the Facebook page source code. It means not the exact Facebook page source code. See here when we search the string using the Facebook, this page will have some source code. That page source code will be written to our written in our terminal now. Let us cross check. Okay, images branding Google standard color. Let me search for this in our thing. Okay, images branding Google. I mean I took a unique string to identify this page source code as the Facebook page source code. So like this we can get the content and status code when we passed the parameters, and like this. If you want to pass the parameters through I mean to the website, then you need to specify the parameters by using a word params equal to, and you, if it is a string, you must pass it to you, I mean you need to pass it using through single quotes. That is the main thing you need to remember. You need to specify the double quotes or single quotes while passing the such string. And if you want to know the encoding format, in which format it get encoded, you can use printx.encoding. Okay, Python 2 request.py. See here we got our encoding format. So the page this page is encoded with the format of ISO 8859-1. That is the encoding format the content is encoded with. So, and I said about the responses, handling the responses. Let me see that. So we can handle the responses using these ways. One is get response and JSON response, raw response, and another one is binary response. So I mostly prefer JSON response because it's very easy to understand by our human. It is very friendly format, so I prefer to use JSON response. If you want to use any other response, you can use it, but while you are using with raw response, it will print the response in hexadecimal notation. So at starting you will get the response in a library, then you need to use read method in the raw response method in the raw response subclass, I think so. Then the output will be printed in a hexadecimal notation like our payload shellcode when we converted the shellcode into hexadecimal notation. So that will be the similar thing in raw response. So let me explain about the responses. And if you want to I mean this x dot content is nothing but our raw response. So this is up to this is about the raw response. If you use the dot content, I mean the request that we are holding with the variable name as x, and if we use x dot content, then it will automatically print the raw response on our terminal. And if you use x dot json, then you will get our human readable format, which is a eco-friendly format. Okay, clear. Python to request dot py. Okay, there are some errors here. Okay, x dot json off. Okay, let me remove this line. Python to request dot py. Okay, it seems that there are some errors in our Python module. Okay, let me show about the get response by using x dot text. If you use the text method, then you will get the output as get response. See here, this is our response. If you use dot text method, this is our get response method. So this is the format when we use x dot text, and this is called as get response. So I hope I think I covered all responses. And in binary response, it's a useless response, and if you want to know about more, then you can go to the link that I am going to provide in the description. I will provide the link in the description to know about the binary response. You can visit that link, then you can know about the binary response more. So I prefer get response or JSON response to read the format in a clear way. So that is the thing. This is all I got for this video. If you like the video, please do like and subscribe to our channel. Please do like this video. If you subscribe to our channel, then it will motivate me to do more videos. Happy learning. Have a great day.